Hello, everybody, welcome. That was just like investigator. Okay, so guys, I'm just recording this part, this introduction really, because I have recorded a video. No, well, it is a video, but it's just the audio tonight with Corina, and I really recommend that this if you're interested in this and you followed the video that I put out yesterday, this is a really detailed video about what is likely to happen because I did ask that question. Because I think it's okay if I share it. I think it'll be okay with her if I share that. So Corina, I've talked to her for years now. She first started when she was my client for quite a while, the health related issues. And then we started talking, and then as we talked, so we know each other really well. And at the beginning of the video, I wanted to I was like, let's get to the really specific question. So I kind of pushed the conversation in that direction in a way at the beginning to really find out the details of how this is going to come down. Is it going to happen? How, and not the details of what they're doing behind the scenes, because I don't think we should even know that. But how is D-Ron gonna go? Is it gonna hit the road, Jack? Huh? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back for more, no more. No, he's not. Uh, there's not gonna be no more road for Jack to run through. It's gonna be confined. Yeah, no. Really, no. No, seriously. So today was another day, I slept. It was nice. I slept today. And no, but it still feels pretty good, right? It feels good. And again, the thing that I want to remind everybody is to do not watch the news. Don't touch that thing. Okay. Until this everything is cleared out, it's almost like we're living this false reality. Okay. Until I still think that it's not over yet at all. Okay. And I was surprised. Unfortunately, I did not take a picture, but I happened to see the cover of the New York Times. And I unsubscribed from the New York Times a really long time ago, uh, because of the Trump thing and how they were covering Biden. And I was very surprised to see that they're on Wednesday, their headline was Nation Divided, and they're still counting. There was still was it counting the ballots, tallying the ballots, something like that. And I was very surprised because to me, they didn't say Trump had won, even though many outlets had declared him the winner over like at night, in the middle of the night. So just to tell you again that the people who, I'm surprised that they took the step, because really, what is the evidence? If you think about it, they need to show for if that were to be true. But instead, we have a lot of confusion about the voting count and everything because it's not true, right? There's a lot of holes in this story. So just to tell you that it's comforting. But basically, this video, so how this video is structured is that Corina sent me videos in the morning. She woke up very early, started sending me these audios. I was asleep when I received them. And so later on, I listened to them and I thought they were very interesting. And then, it's about 20 minutes of her, like what she sees and how she sees Biden inviting Trump into the White House now. And apparently he is, right? And how Biden knows what's going on, right? The truth about the situation. And then how it goes on. So then when I talked to her later, it's maybe 40 minutes, and I pressed her. We both said, Karina, we have to find out how is Trump going to go down? Because that's the whole point, right? How is this thing going to go down? And we see Trump going down. We see Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and all those people that are involved eventually being kind of taken down. Okay. And I mean, like, I know it sounds okay. I know that there's people going to be like, oh, Rosie, you're crazy. You're this or that. Or like, you just want us to feel better. But, everybody's free to think anything you want. Or, right. Like it's free. Right. Like I'm just sharing what I'm seeing. And I think at this point, we have to kind of, I had to ask this question really, right? Because the question wasn't like, because she was saying something like, oh, I see that it's going to happen. they're going to do this, if the you know, the law enforcement is going to do this now. And it's like, so, and then it's like, oh, it's going to be like it's gonna end, they're gonna be exposed. But then I had to ask the question, because I said, you know, the question really is, if this indeed happens, let's say theoretically that if Kamala does, if she's in fact eventually declared the rightful winner, which I believe she is, how is Trump gonna go out? Because if he's not, you know, somewhere, he's definitely gonna be like, oh, you know, they stole the elect. Like, why? What would stop him from doing that? That's what he's done. So that's why I was kind of pushed to get the specifics, okay, on this. So I thought, so that was really quite interesting. And then and that's it. Okay. And I also, even though I know people who know me know that I'm always like, when people ask me like too much about deadlines, or like when is always a hard question. But I did had to ask, because we have the Trump. So the whole thing is supposed to go down around his sentencing. Okay, this is that's what I think. Okay, and I had to share, and of course, maybe who knows, right? How it's really, but I feel like I have to share this with you, because I do see Kamala still in the inauguration. I know it hasn't happened yet, and I know, but I just need to share this. And and that's it. Okay. So then you see how I see, and so there was just, guys, you know, I just got off I just stopped the recording, so it's still kind of like fresh in my mind. And you know, sometimes it's like hard to like even remember what you were talking about, because there's so, and I told her at some point, and you listened to it, I said, Corina, I think we should go, because there's so much information in this video. I don't want it to be too long. It's already long because we have, and I do think it's important to have the context of the conversation, but the meat, like the meat of it, of the actual thing happening to, does it make sense? Because again, we have to neutralize the person, right? And I see that the law enforcement, you know, puts the hammer, like, listen, here's the document in Russian saying, what you gonna say about it now? Huh? So, so really, I think it's gonna happen, because otherwise, you know, otherwise, and I'm like, guys, I don't believe it's gonna happen. But let's say, if we're like, oh, just wait until, like, you know, the DOJ does something, like, you know, somebody's indicted, like, the world ends. That's why it has to happen between now and the inauguration, because otherwise it's over. No, kind of, right? So anyway, but I could see by my mood, right, that it's interesting for me. Okay, all right. So thanks for watching. Okay, and I'm gonna put like chapters so you can skip if you want. Okay, and as I watch it, honestly, I will also be adding little, like, the parts that are more relevant, because I know a lot of people, you know, it's fairly long. So, all right, okay. So thanks for watching, and that's it. Okay, bye.
Good morning, Rosie. I wanted to make this recording and send it to you. I hope I can get the gist or the essence of what has all been kind of coming in. So, yesterday, you know, after we talked, Bob had told me that Joe Biden invited Trump to the White House already. And as soon as he said that, I had an image of Joe Biden standing there. Because, you know, I mean, normally if I would have heard that, it would have just sick. The last time I heard it, it sickened me. This time, it was like, and I know you'll understand this, like, because you like crime shows, but, you know, when the bad guy walks into the room and he is more like a Joe Pesci all mouth kind of, you know, character, and they're just kind of looking at him like, yeah, you just keep talking, sucker, kind of feeling. But when Bob said that to me and I saw Joe Biden standing there, he transformed into a scorpion. And I believe he is a Scorpio. And I could see like his stinger in the back of him, and it was going, and I, you know, live in Arizona. I've seen the deadliest scorpion there is. And the way the stinger was moving back and forth behind him that Trump couldn't see. So it felt more like a plot and a plan to make everything look normal. Like we're the ones that are conceding, we're the ones giving up, we're the ones making everything look normal, letting everything die down. And sadly, the stories I'm hearing, just even from people in our own community, things aren't dying down, but from the rhetoric, but it's almost like they have to let things go away. Like the bots, look how many people have lost so many, the bots are gone. Like you said, they did their job, we're done. So they're kind of just waiting but the smile behind the back is, it's the plot that's waiting to be revealed. So I was walking into my closet later that evening, and I had one of those moments again that you and I have at times where it feels like I walked into the past. Like, because I heard something, then I went, that's still going on? Like, kind of, it felt again like all this was in the past. It's not current. It's not moving forward. I can't explain it, but it's not. God, and you know how I feel things in every, heck, I feel everything in the body. I do not feel this with one fiber of my being. I don't know how to explain it. And I don't think I'm being that protected of, no, and I don't feel that at all. So I was so tired last night, I went to bed and just slept. But this morning, I usually like to sleep until about 8. I couldn't sleep. I was up at 5, and I'm always up at 3 anyway for like an hour in the morning, the witching hour. So I got up at 5 again, and I just sat with my crystals because I could feel the shaking in my body. But it wasn't anxiety. It was almost that feeling of waiting for the other shoe to drop, like there's something just about to come out of your mouth, but it's so big that that it's coming kind of feeling. Like it took my breath away kind of feeling. So went back, tried to go back to sleep. I couldn't go back to sleep. So I've been up since 5 with this feeling of giddiness, like and while I'm laying there trying to go back to sleep, all this stuff is coming in, and I'm seeing the bigger picture. It's almost like, I said I had that feeling when it switched from Biden to Kamala, that was a universal guidance, step in kind of thing, that it had to shift in a certain way. And it's almost like I felt the universe talking to me last night, or this morning, geez, it's all rolling together. We had to do this. We saw what was coming. We had to shift again. Not the timeline shift like I felt like last time, but this felt like we need to step in. And then I felt it, and I saw like this sheet, like this white sheet over everybody. Like, and it was a smoke screen that we're under, that we can't see what's, we're being covered. Everything's being covered up right now. Everything is silent. Everything, it's like, and then I keep hearing that song. There's a kind of hush all over the world. It's like it's silent, but it's underground. We can see it. And I can't even talk about this without just vibing, my chills, and I'm freezing. So, and I saw this, again, the underground thing, and I can't say it in detail because it doesn't come to me like that. It's the essence, the bigness, how it feels and how it looks, and I am just sitting. You can probably tell I'm not really speaking too well because it's like bubbling up. I can feel almost the excitement. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I saw it the bigger scheme. I saw him invite him into the White House with that stinger behind him. And it's like they're just letting him be the biggest mother, and fool. And let him gloat, let them all gloat. But oh my gosh, it's like when that Pandora box opens and everything is laid out. Oh my gosh. You know how we don't like to hype things, like this is hard, but I keep getting the word. I want to say we might experience a miracle for the first time in our life, like feeling it's like a miracle that we all experience. Like we need, I kind of get that hand of God, like giving us a miracle. And I don't feel that that's wishful thinking. I don't feel that it's in a escape feeling like I just need to create that because I need to feel better. No, it's not. It's a bigger thing. And we've talked about this before. I remember this was years ago when we were dealing with, something. I think he was still in office. And I remember we kept getting over and over for like a few sessions. And I kept saying, and I'm sure if we went back on our recordings, it would be there. But it was the truth. The truth, we cannot move forward without truth. Everything that was coming up for us was about the truth. Moving forward with truth. And I keep getting that same thing. So it's almost like now where I'm in this phase, I'm not anxious about anything at all. I feel this overwhelming sense of we have to manifest the truth. We have to meditate on the truth. No fear, no more of this woe's me, poor, what's going to happen. No, we have to focus on the truth. It needs to be exposed to save democracy. That's the last fight, is the truth. So it makes kind of sense where we're at. If you really look at it right now, it makes sense to me. And I don't want any of that to make sense to me, but it does. And I understand from what I kind of saw and felt, and I kind of felt like I was a fly on the wall in the Justice Department last night. And I just saw even like Jack Smith, like, no, we're not going to let them get away with this shit. No, we are doing something. Sit back, hold tight. You're all under the sheet. Just be patient. It's coming. We have to play, and it's like, that's another thing I see. It's like, I don't read tarot cards, but I get the thief in the tarot. And that's, I keep seeing that card that it's like, oh, and then I had one more vision, and this is kind of funny because it involved you, but it was your voice, and I had, and they like all the bad guys, and I almost it felt like, and okay, it's probably gonna sound like, because I watched the movie Goldmember the other night with Alec, and his best friend is here, so we all sat down and watched Goldmember. So it's probably why this is a little bit like this, but it felt, I saw this cylinder, and it was underground, like the cylinder, it was like a tall metal cylinder that went way underground, but it was also way above ground. And all the bad guys were down in that cylinder, almost like it felt like kind of like they were on this private cave, yacht, island, space, I don't know. But anyway, they were all down there together. And, it took me to the scene where in Goldmember, where they're all sitting there laughing. The evil people are all, ah, ha, ha. So they're all down there laughing and celebrating. And it was great because it was your voice. And You know how you point at things and you wiggle your finger, go, no, 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 no. And you had a flashlight, and you were leaning over the cylinder with your flashlight, and you're with that one eye, and you're going, oh, what are you doing down there? And you're shining the flashlight on them. And that's when, that's what's showing me the exposure. They were being exposed by the light. But it came across in a funny way. Thank you, Spirit. I've had enough trauma. I don't need... So thank you for the funny part, Spirit. But anyway, I thought you might appreciate that. But you know what? That's all it is. We have to be patient and let the light expose the dark. Because we are in that faded dark period in this moment in time. So I hope that made sense, because sometimes it just, I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, I'm gonna pause it there, stop it there, and I will talk to you at some point, I'm sure. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Hi. One thing I forgot to tell you that I saw in that vision was something that looked like the Situation Room in the White House. And everybody was in that Situation Room. And oh, interesting. Huh, I just got actually something else. Not only was it like Biden, Obama, Kamala, everybody. It was everybody. And it was interesting because I even saw, like, for some reason, Jimmy Carter was there. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a few things, so I'm having a hard time getting it out. I'm even getting now that I'm seeing, like, Ruth Bader Ginsberg. Like, they're all in that Situation Room. This isn't going away. Like, no, this isn't going away. We're here. And it's funny because now it's like bringing that vision really into light. But that's what I wanted to say, is that I saw that they're all in that room. And it's like they're watching all these monitors. And it's so almost like the monitors, okay, this is coming in from over here. This is coming in from over here. So it's a very logistical, big situation that's not, that's where it takes me up above the planet, and I'm looking down on the planet. It's not solvable in one little day because it contains information from all over the world. So they have to piece that together and put it together. So right now, we're still in the phase of the Situation Room. That's what I wanted to say. Wanted to send another little tidbit. I will talk to you later. Oh, gosh, my head hurts today. Like, I feel like I'm getting so much information. Like, the dots are connecting for me in a way that is pretty amazing. But I wanted to share this with you because I thought this was very incredible. You know how I said in the last video, I saw that cylinder and it was a funny thing how you were looking into it and pointing with I was laughing because you were doing your accent and you were exposing the light and it was a funny thing, which I appreciated. But it's interesting sitting here. I was eating my breakfast and I've been getting little more tidbits of information I received before, like the more deeper meanings. And I received a deeper meaning about that. And it was like the reason it was you, because even these stuff you've been exposing, you've been sending in and exposing the big corporations, and it ties together, and it showed me that you and I have chosen to stand in the truth. And it's like now if we are actually walking the walk. You know, we've always been fearful of standing up and using our voice and being in the world. Oh my God, we're in the world. We were the two that used our voices for that. And so it showed me that, it even kind of showed me our last, us together these last 10 years or whatever, however long it's been. And it was like, we have been training you girls to be warriors of truth. So of course, Rosie would be part of exposing it. You would be part of exposing it. You two need to stay in that realm of just focusing on exposing the truth and getting other women. We cannot be complacent yet. There's still a fight for truth. But that's why it came across in that funny way. And here I think it's funny, but it gave me the deeper meaning. It's because we have been trained to be the truth. And it also kind of showed me this last couple months how we've just been going through almost hell, like in our bodies and regurgitating all this stuff and how it's been coming out of us. And it was like, we had to clear you so fast because we needed to be cleared of our own crap that was holding us back from living our truth, the truth of who we really are. And it was like, I don't know, that video that you put out had so much value in it to me because it's showing me, like, that's what it kind of brought, that's what kind of started this whole, I'm sure, message, is because we were brave enough to stand in the truth. And so, and it was like, that's what we've been training you for, kind of thing. So I feel like I have this very proud feeling inside, like, and Rosie, you've seen the hurricanes inside of me when they're actually happening in reality. I, of all people, would feel this in my soul if I really felt he was going to be there. I would be despondent. I mean, you know how just sometimes the couple words can throw my nervous system into a spin, which throws the skeletal system into a spin, and I'm crippled before you know it. I don't have any of that. I have this feeling of, it's finally what we've been working towards and prepared for, and know something's coming. This is the time. We just have to manage to get it out. It has to come out. So we have to fight for the truth to come out. But anyway, we are part of it. And another interesting thing that came to me this morning, and I don't think I told you this yesterday, but remember when I said I saw like the FBI infiltrating MAGA and stuff? It showed me a picture, like I got an image of Mrs. Doubtfire. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with that movie. If not, go ahead and look it up. Just the character Mrs. Doubtfire. But it was Robin Williams playing an old grandma. Like I believe the plot of it doesn't really matter, but it was like their dad actually playing because he wanted to be with his kids, something like that. But that wasn't the point. The point was when Bob said, or when I was telling that story to Bob, that's about the FBI infiltrating, that's when I saw Mrs. Doubtfire. And I was like, oh, okay, I understand it's almost like a woman that looks like her, like an old lady, like would infiltrate them. So, it wouldn't be, no one would suspect her, like an old, irritable grandmother kind of thing. But this morning, I saw Mrs. Doubtfire again, and I heard, no, it's deeper than that. Remember the character, Mrs. Doubtfire. It wasn't just, it was a man dressed as a woman, dressed as an old lady. Like that, and it showed me that, and after it showed me that, it showed me the deep layers. Like, this is so deep and so big and so that they've had to go underground kind of feeling. So I'm still kind of getting all that. And today, like I said, my head hurts in a way because I've got so much stuff just flowing through. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just letting it flow through. But every once in a while, I want to put these details down because I know I'm getting so much today that I'll forget. So hopefully I don't flood you too much. And I hope you're having a good day. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, another tidbit. Do you remember years ago you had a vision of, and I want to say it was in 2020 it was either before the actually it was I think before the election of 2020. And you had a vision of like people being the DOJ being quiet and people being arrested like bang, 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 bang. And we wouldn't know about it until everybody was arrested. It's not like, it was a quiet operation. Kind of almost what you said the other day, like when I said, I think they're going to get arrested. You said, I think they already are. I had that vision that you said came back to me. Like, it wasn't back then. It's now. It's now. So that's another little tidbit I wanted to pass along. We can always talk, refresh that later, but that's another little thing that just came through that that vision you had years ago, it's like now it's meant to happen. So anyway, oh my God, I'll talk to you later. Bye. So I'm going to move this. Okay. Yes, I got my recording too. Let me make sure my volume's up. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
My head is so fried, Rosie. I feel like my head feels like scrambled eggs.
Wow. Okay.
But sometimes when you're so exhausted, things flow,
That's right. No, I feel it too. It's happened to me before.
Yeah, yeah. And I had a feeling it was going to be one of those nights last night because when I went to bed, you know how sometimes I have that light, that bright light that shines on me, even though the room's dark and the covers are over my head. It was like so bright. My ears were just buzzing like crazy. And it was like, okay, I have a feeling messages are going to come through. And usual thing, woke up at 3 this morning, I didn't feel the anxiety or anything. Went back to sleep and oh my gosh, I woke up at 5 this morning, as I told you, just buzzing, like buzzing. It was not anxiety. It wasn't fear. It was like waiting for the other shoe to drop. There's something in the air. There's, I can just feel it. I can feel it, kind of crazy. And I keep, what? I'm telling you, I keep having that vision of Joe like his body is Joe, but his back is the scorpion. He has the scorpion tail and the claws. And it's like that tail is just slithering back and forth, slithering back and forth. He's just,
yeah, go ahead.
He's just looking at Trump like, oh. Go ahead.
No, because you know what I was wondering, and this is, I don't know, just really wondering if it's appropriate to ask the question, because then it occurred to me, how will they take Trump down? Because, you know what I mean? They're going to announce something, right? Obviously. But maybe we shouldn't, I don't know if we're supposed to know, really. But, like,
well, that's what came, that's what's been happening, Rosie. There's been so much coming into my brain today. It's like I can't keep track of it all. It's like so much. But it took me back to that vision of yours that you had years ago where you saw the FBI going in and bam, 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 arresting. And we didn't know until it was all like everybody was arrested kind of thing.
But I mean, what about Trump himself? What are they going to do to him? Are they going to do something? Or
I feel it's coming. Yeah. I mean, he's in that. He's involved in that.
no, of course I know, but that's not the question. I have a specific question. My question is, I mean, we both should work on it. Maybe the spirits will tell if they don't want to know. Physically, his body, like, because let's say theoretically, they do all this. Trump could just still be like, "Oh, I won the election." There's, you know what I mean? Like, it could. So, what will stop Trump from just keep talking the way it's like he has to be arrested somehow or something has to happen? That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
So,
Yes. I get yes. I
that's a
get
big question.
just plain
Let's
yes.
see. Let's see. So, what's going to happen? How are they going to take him down? They're going to. What's going to happen? Wow, you know, I
They
see
have
him actually in
evidence.
front of Trump Tower here in New York, actually.
Yes.
Car, I see a car like you know, like those whenever there's like a presidential like parade, not parade, you know, they have like all these black cars with
Yeah.
no,
The black SUVs. Yes.
so they're like, President, come with us, and they just take him, and he's waiting in somewhere like some FBI something, and so we have there's his lawyers meet him there, and they look at him like, you're in trouble, dude, you're fucked. And that's it,
Exactly.
the end. And I see the end, the end.
Yeah.
Like a movie, it says this is the end. And then
Yeah.
after this moment, and he's in, okay, when he's, and I see somebody with a walkie-talkie, like an FBI agent saying, okay, we're done. Meaning like
Mm-hmm.
he's in custody. So then the news comes out. Then there's a whole
Right.
and everything, and they announce it. And okay, and I see where's Peter Thiel. I also feel like Peter, it's like he's listening, but I see that Peter Thiel hears these doors
There like
car
there's a
doors.
knock on his door.
Yeah, like I hear he hears all these car doors near him, and he looks
Yes.
mansion somewhere. Like he's like, wait, what are these? What am I hearing? And then he looks the blinds, and there they are, FBI,
There
and
they are.
he
Yep.
knows
Yep.
what that means. It's like because he stutters a lot. So, but and they're like,
Yeah.
and they show him a warrant, and it's like a conspiracy to attack the United States. Like that's the whole thing. So wow, so that's
Yeah. And Elon too. I mean, I feel he's involved in that
yeah,
and he's in on that too. And his arrest papers say traitor.
wow, wow,
What's the other one? Traitor and espionage.
yeah, hmm yeah,
Yeah.
because technically Elon Musk has probably some sort of security clearance. He has access to all this information about satellites because of his company.
Exactly. I mean, we're paying this guy to screw over America. I mean, it's so obvious. And, it's kind of like, um, I want to say Elon was the new Trump. They just wanted Trump in there to get him the heck out of there. And Elon, you know, wanted to be king because they don't care. They don't like JD Vance. They don't even want him around. It was Elon. You could tell. It's like, they're the I'm sorry, but they're the dumbest criminals ever. It's like I don't know, maybe it's just me because I'm intuitive that way, but it's like we can read you like a book, you fools. You're putting your plan out there. And like right now, I haven't watched anybody, I haven't listened to anything, I haven't, nothing other than what talking to you and what Bob tells me. And he has said a few things that are happening out there. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought about that. But it's kind of, gosh, I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought on that one. What was I saying? I've got so much rambling through my head. It was something to do with Elon, but I'll think of it as we're talking. I'll think of it. But there's just so much. There's so much. I see this evidence. Just I saw it today. Like when I saw the bill of sale for America. To me, that was the ultimate. Because not only was it the bill of sale, like it was the essence of they're selling out the country. And Elon was in on that. Everybody was in on that. Thiel, all these people were in on that. And it's not just selling it to Putin, it's selling it to all these guys. And oh, I know what I was going to say. They're showing their rears with this Project 2025 because Bob said, there's no way in heck I'm going to send it to you because you'll go nuts. But there's a video of, I don't know who the guy is, but some right wing guy, that misogynistic jerk, and he's out there going, "We own your bodies now, you bitches," and all this stuff. And I'm just like, if I would have seen that a week or two ago, oh my God, I would have been so irate and so ballistic. But you know what? When he told me that today, it was like, yeah, you just gloat, you sucker, because it's the same picture. They're just being everything. It's like that image of Trump that I have, where he's standing there and he's celebrating all his crimes and his future crimes. And he thinks they're just about to hand him the key. See, that's what I kind of think, like they're going to trick him, get him somewhere, do something to where he goes somewhere where he has no clue what's about to happen, and he thinks he's getting the keys to the palace. And that's like his fingers are just barely touching. And it just he can't grasp it. Everything's crumbling underneath him and falling apart. And the truth comes out. But I think it has a lot to do with that. When I saw the bill of sale, it was attached to then I saw a box of documents, papers. Project 2025 was sitting right on top. And that's what they were gloating. They were gloating like, ha, it's real. We told you. We tried to make you think it wasn't real, but it's real. We got you now. And there's apparently, Bob said, they're kind of already saying that. So let them, but we need to see their rears. You know what I mean? People have to know, oh my God, that was really real. What do we do now? So it kind of comes down to that too, where I also heard too earlier, Trump's assignment here on Earth is not complete. When his assignment is complete, he will be returned home. He will be called home. Then we will know it's over. But we are not done with the lessons, and while he's walking this planet, that's our sign. That's what they say. It's a universal because once he's gone, the whole thing crumbles. It's the Putin, BB, everything, Elon, all that's crumbling. So,
but when you mean he's gone, meaning he's not because
he has nothing.
He's gonna be alive to see his undoing, of course, and then very soon, correct? Right, Corina?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe. See, I think. I mean, I hate to say stuff like this, but it's almost like I've always seen him just glitch out. But that comes because of he thinks he has the prize, the trophy. For him, everything is that, like the cover of People Man. I mean, that is so important to him. The prize. He doesn't care about anything else. It's the prize. So when he's just about to be given the prize and it's taken away, he glitches. There's no. It's like that's when he sees his demise, and we see his demise as well.
Okay.
When we get to witness that.
Okay.
I don't think that we won't. Honestly, I don't. Some people see him escaping. I don't know at this point. Now that things have shifted
I don't think
again.
it's possible. I don't think it's possible because
No.
he's too big of a elephant to, it's too big of a prize for
And
too much work.
exactly. And that's when I kind of think of that now, it's like that's why they've been silent. That's why they kind of had to let's play this out. We have to play this out. That's the whole thing. We have to play this out to this, like Joe had to play his part. Kamala, she didn't really want to play the part, but she has to because everything now has to fall into the correct order. and it only can fall into the correct order by playing it out. And so it's just a matter of, okay, what they're taking me back to the situation room that I saw this morning where everybody was in it.
Okay.
And they're watching the monitor. Okay, so this room was like kind of like that oval cylinder I saw them all celebrating in. But and there's monitors everywhere. And so the first people that I see, it was funny because Barack Obama was actually the first person that I saw. It was he sitting there, and I see him, Merrick Garland, Jack Smith, Joe Biden. It was like those four presented first. Kamala's there, Tim Walz is there, Liz Cheney's there, Hillary's there. And then it went to, and there's way more other people. I think Adam Schiff was even there. And there's more people, like it is full, but they're watching the monitors. And that's when it took me above the planet where I was looking down. And that's when I got, oh, this isn't America's election. This has to do with, which we already knew. It's all these countries. That's why it didn't happen. We didn't get knowledge that it's been stolen or cheated or anything yet, because it almost, it's like I get tongue tied even saying it, but they are bringing down a world syndicate, a crime syndicate. This isn't just the America's election. It is a crime syndicate. So we can't know about it. We can't rush it. It's not something they can talk about. And again, I'm seeing like that image of Mrs. Doubtfire of all well, that's why I got that image, because it's not just her, an old lady that infiltrated MAGA. It's the layers of, it was a man dressed as a woman, dressed as an old lady. You know what I mean? It's the layer. There's so much underground layers that we have no clue. And that's, then I get so strongly sitting there like Jack Smith. And I don't usually get this kind of detail. I usually get the way bigger picture. But it almost is like Jack Smith is like the leader, even more powerful than Merrick Garland. And I think, didn't we say that earlier? And that kind of came across in you said something about Jack Smith, but it's almost like he is the one that has been in charge of everything. And I think, some of these cases that have been delayed, this and that, there is a reason for all that. And that was another thing I woke up with. I woke up with the knowledge, the essence, the gist of this whole picture. And we are right where we need to be right now. It is playing out according to plan. So if we can just all focus on the truth, that's all I've been hearing all day is the truth will set you free. But we have to push for the truth. This isn't, we're not in a cakewalk situation. This isn't, bubblegum and Cracker Jacks. We are in the soul of America. That's why when I saw the situation room with all those people and Jimmy Carter was there, I'm like, why in the heck would Jimmy Carter be there? He's 100 years old. Why would he be in the situation room? But then it came to me later, he is the soul of America. He represents the soul of America. And, they tried to tear him, a good man, down, a man with a heart. He was a humanitarian, and they tore him to pieces for being a humanitarian. But he represented the soul of America. And then it took me above those people, and above all their heads now were the spirits. All the past spirits. And at first the only person that was like front and center, I knew they were all the past spirits, but I didn't see faces or anything like that yet. But the first person I saw was Ruth Bader Ginsberg. And she had the gavel of justice. And she was standing like, I don't know why it made, like, she was the center of everything for some reason. And then as I was, I just tried to keep myself busy today. I was cooking, I made soups. And so I was made French onion soup. And as I was cutting up the onions, I started to see who the spirits were. Like they kind of kept coming. Like I saw JFK, I saw Martin Luther King, I saw um, what's the one in the wheelchair? And I saw Abraham Lincoln's hat. I saw George Washington. And then you know who I saw kind of standing in the corner was Ronald Reagan.
Interesting.
He had his head down. He was mortified. He was mortified and very like, oh my God, I can't believe I started this. He knew he allowed this to start. It was like it started with him. And so he was like standing in the back, but his essence wasn't lost. Like what he was there for was he was like, I may have allowed this to happen, but I'm here now to help fix it.
Wow.
And it's like, that's the thing, Rosie, with all of this energy and all these things, how can it not be? I mean, like we said earlier, my body is the barometer of everything in this world sometimes, whether I choose to be or not. It comes out of me physically. Sometimes so bad I'm down for days. I do not feel this in any fiber of my being at all. At all. I can't even picture the future with him. It doesn't exist. It is lights out. It's darkness. There is like, it goes to a certain point and then it goes black. Oh God, Jesus. Sorry. Just as I said that, my computer screen went black. Oh my God. That was like weird. It just shut off all of it, but it was perfect timing. Everything goes black and there is nothing forward. I don't know. It's so bizarre. It's just bizarre. But I'm still feeling amazingly wonderful today. Even though I'm completely exhausted, I feel good. I feel giddy and excited.
Mm. Wow. Yeah. No, no, it's no, I feel, today I finally slept. So that was good, like resting and to do all of
We
my life.
haven't been doing much of that, have we?
Yeah, that's right. That's why I just finally like things are organizing, and then I was listening to your audios, and then it just feels, oh, I told you, right. Oh, that's right. When we were on the phone earlier. Just interesting that I don't think I took a picture of the headline of the New York Times on Wednesday when it was published, and my parents got it. And it was so fascinating to see that they are in fact again aware of the discrepancies, and that they're I think they're doing their job in that surprisingly so in that sense. And that they're aware of what's going on. So let's see here. So what else? So yeah, no, and Corina, as you were saying this, I kept picturing also Peter Thiel, like how he's a hollow person. There's no soul. It's like, how they're creating this, they're very obsessed about AI. I mean, it's a long story, this whole AI progress there. I think they are lying a little bit about how far AI has gone, but it's like I see that Peter Thiel like models himself as a machine. He wants to have no wimble, what I mean? Like but it's saying the good thing that I'm getting here about like when I'm inquiring, like how could somebody do or be so evil? It's saying actually it's like a negative crystal that attracts all the negativity to themselves, to the world. And then when they are removed or neutralized somehow, then the world is better 100 times because of how the effect of their influence is so greatly diminished. Does it make sense? It's almost like it becomes a sponge to negativity and darkness and evil. So it diminishes it. But does it make sense, Corina? It's almost like some people
Yeah.
have such power, but at the same time, the good thing about it is when they are neutralized, all the negative effects go with them.
Exactly. And you know what? I just got that image again of me hovering over the planet. Remember, I said I saw like and I don't usually get galactic stuff, and I saw thousands of UFOs hovering over, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" And
Mm.
I was shown that they were sucking up the darkness. They were sucking up the darkness, and that was in my image today too. When I looked, they pulled me up to show me it was a worldly thing, the UFOs were still there.
Mm.
But I also saw, when I did see that, it was like I was able to look around and I saw this frequency. And it was like, and I felt so, I had the knowledge that, see this frequency? None of that down there matches this. This is the frequency you're in. That does not match this. It has to dissolve. It just won't survive in this frequency. So I was kind of shown that too. And I mean, that's maybe why I can't see it moving into the future. There is no air, there's no breath. I mean, I know we're still going to be dealing with all a lot of that darkness, but it's different. The darkness has already been exposed. Now we're kind of sweeping it up and cleaning it up and dealing with it. But the exposure has begun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So, like, can I ask a question about, I know I always like kind of chastise people a little bit when they ask me this question, but I'm kind of curious. Can we look into Chris? Because I kind of feel like I did like get a feeling that it was going to happen in November by the end of the month because of Trump. Oh, maybe you can ask about Trump's sentencing. And then if we're going to be celebrating Christmas, the situation or not yet. Okay. So first,
Yeah.
okay. So the first question is Trump going to show up at his sentencing that was delayed for November 28th?
I immediately said no.
No?
He's not going to, if he
No,
has
no.
his
So
way,
what
he's not
meaning
going
like
to go up.
that? Okay. I don't mean that. I mean, it's going to happen. Is he going to be sentenced?
Oh,
What is going to happen to him? Because if he's sentenced, then he has to go to prison or whatever they take him. Does it make sense?
yeah. And
So
what, and then, yeah, I,
what happens on the
it's,
day of the sentencing? Does it show? Like, let's see. That's a question for both of us. Okay, let's see.
okay, okay.
What happens on the Sunday? Yes, I see. I think thumbs up. Yes, it goes. But I see that there is a red alert, like a red around the thumbs up, very red alarms, like the country is under alarm. Wow. So
Hmm.
wow, and I
There's
see.
something, like, there's something going on. Like, I can't,
Yeah, and you know what? It's telling me shh. Like they're telling me don't say
yeah,
like
yeah,
almost
yeah,
as if it happens, it may coincide with actually the sentence so that he has to go to the thing. And that's when the thing going down somehow has to do with the sentencing date. They're saying yes. So I see that he's like, actually, I do see him, Corina, startled that where he like, where are you taking me? Where are you taking me?
yeah, yeah.
And
I
then
didn't
he's
think,
like, he goes, and then there's something related to the sentencing. He goes, and then he's made to go to this, and he's sentenced, and then he goes, to the. It's saying, wow, you know what? I'm getting a word, Corina. They use it for terrorists. It's called it's like a euphemism for interrogation. It's debriefing. It's called
debriefing.
debriefing. So we
Yeah.
were going to the debriefing to say, okay, here, wow, and I see that they show him, Karina, the Russian documents in Russian. And they say, this is the document from this person, that person that you spoke to that day, da, da, da. We know what you did. The whole world has been alerted to what's happening at this moment. It's over now. And he's like, starts sweating and like you said, glitching. But that's what I get. But it is telling me, Corina, that this whole thing event is kind of surrounds his. So because it kind of has to be like it has to be smooth, how do you say it? Interwoven into our realities kind of smoothly. Does it make sense? It's kind of
Yeah.
complicated. For me, I don't really get it, and I don't think you should necessarily get it, but that's what I feel like. It's related to this. Now, so anyway, so this was just me, but what do you see for his sentencing? You could say something, obviously, feel free to say, of course, some.
No, I mean, actually, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And it's like I almost feel like he's sitting in that interrogation room. And I think that's the same, it's that same feeling I got this morning. Like he's like that Joe Pesci, like they're just letting him think something different. Like he doesn't know where he's headed. And then, but for some reason, when you were saying that, I saw a TV above in that room, but the TV, it looks like it's like he thinks it's just a monitor, but what it actually seemed to me like it was being broadcast all over the world, and he didn't like know that we were watching it.
Mm.
So there's something like we witnessed this, or yeah, he doesn't that, and that's to me when he glitches, like Jack Smith. There's, see, buddy, we got this evidence, and see that right there, see that that is programmed to show the world. Like he's point like, and it's like Trump's looking at it like what, and he finally gets it. It hits him
Wow,
like
can
where
I,
he is.
wow, can I tell you something, some weird, the one why it came to me. I see Don Jr. He's like, I don't know if he's been arrested also. They're like the feds are there and he's still high on his drugs. And then he's like held somewhere. I don't know if it's like they're isolating, right, the family because they need to know what he has, what all those things. And he starts vomiting, have like, a drug addict that cannot have access to the drugs. He
Yeah,
starts withdrawing and then like that crazy vomiting. And
yeah,
and I see, wow, it's so oh wow, this is a lot of very detailed. It shows me it is a prison because how prisons have a specific type of toilet that is metal that is like you can't remove. There's just something I see that he's like one of those, and it's a solitary because there's nobody else there, but it's very like the bricks have been painted over white, and it look oh wow, and it's like a mattress, just looks like so it looks like a prison cell,
yeah,
and he's isolated. And but you know what's so weird? I see that he's actually kind of grateful. Like he's withdrawing. He's like, because he couldn't hold it in anymore. He knows, of course. I'm not saying that he's not innocent, but he knows that this would had to end at some point. It was like he was on a bender, not just a drug bender, but a lying. This whole thing was a lie. He was done with it. So
yeah,
he feels like, wow, this is a moment of like, I don't say judgment day, but it's like a moment of healing for him. He's going to start a long journey of, but he's saying yes, all of it happening. And I see they take also Jared. Like it's interesting, we'll see. We'll see, but it's the main point is really the Trump situation. Now let's like, do you mind if I ask? Oh, I also want to
you
tell you.
know
Go ahead.
it's you know what, it's funny. I see Don Jr. in a jail cell, and it's like 10 years from now, and he's writing a book
Wow.
on being a narcissist son,
Wow.
and he's changed, he's straightened up. Like he comes to the realization that his father used him his whole life
That's right.
for nothing, you know what I mean? And
Right.
so I see him writing a book, and he's actually become a better person.
That's right. I see it too. I do think he has very much has the possibility of like, of being a good person, like emptying himself of the evil. But it takes time. Yeah, that's his whole thing. And I do see it's interesting. His kids visiting him in prison, like he's mending the relationship with them, with the kids, and his ex-wife also. She's a good person. She doesn't have a lot of money, by the way, but so that they're like raised in a good, they're okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Good
yeah,
for them.
yeah.
And then okay. So something else. What was the thing that just came to me as I was asking?
I'm sorry.
No, hold on. So it was this. Oh, okay. I was gonna go to. Oh, this is the thing I want to say about Thanksgiving. So you know how I had asked before. I get the impression that Thanksgiving things are still not necessarily settled. No, that it could be.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly the day of Thanksgiving, but I think it's. I think that the date, the big date, is that we definitely to look out for is the sentencing of Trump. Um, and um, and I feel like around there, that's when things will be kind of, come out to the world. But by
yeah,
Thanksgiving, things sound a little bit weird, but people will notice there's something off, but it will not be public quite yet. It will be by the end of November. So that's we both, you and I agree on this, correct? Right,
yeah.
Karina?
Hmm.
Now let's go to,
And
go ahead.
okay, if you want to go to Christmas, I'm going to say something about that because I actually got some information
Do you
today.
mind? Yeah, let's see. Do you mind if
So
we
go,
just hold, let me like
yeah,
look into it and see
let's look.
what I get about Christmas, okay?
Yeah,
Yes, I see that it's everybody conciliation, a time almost like the biblical, almost like people conciliating, like coming together, families forgiving, like Well, that's what I got. That yes, it's possible that very much will be done by Christmas. And then Kamala, she has like a beautiful outfit for Christmas and in the White House. That's right, because Joe is still right.
Yeah.
And that she's yes, she's celebrating. And wow, and I see her mom now with her mom is there in spirit, putting it like she's putting the crown on top of her head. So she knows,
Wow.
yes, that's what it feels like. Like Kamala, it's like things have been exposed. Yes. Okay, let's see. Where's
Yeah.
Trump? What's going on with Trump on Christmas? It's saying he's getting whatever prison is serving, whatever he is.
Wow.
Not like, I
Yeah.
don't think it's free in on Christmas.
No, I just saw, didn't they have all black? Wasn't some of their ornaments or something about that? Their
Oh,
Christmas
remember,
black?
that's right. It was what's her name, that lady?
Yeah,
Melania. Like,
Milani. That's what his Christmas is. It's
wow.
nothing but black. There is no color whatsoever.
That's
It's
right.
black.
Yeah, and I
Yeah,
see Brandon also in a different way. I think he's taken so many drugs that his brain, he's sort of like almost like it looks almost like he's been a little bit of my like he has no energy. He's just
exactly.
a paycheck.
Exactly.
I don't think he's in a house, as a home or anything like that. And it feels cold. The air is cold where he is, and he's
Yeah.
alone. That's right. So
Yeah. And I don't think they're going to provide him with all those drugs,
no,
you
that's
know?
right. It's I feel like he's gonna, and there's I think he does get, which is fair, medical attention and such, but not the drugs he's used to keep going because he had a lot.
No, it's not. And it's funny. I get this when I had mercury poisoning that, I was pretty much dying. I had 6 months, they said. I was, anything I would like, I was working with that homeopathic doctor and everything was he trying to get me, as healthy food in me as possible. I would be sicker than a dog eating healthy food. I
Hmm.
would eat it, come right up. It
Hmm.
took me so long. But and so when I was really bad, I'd be craving the word like a quarter pounder with cheese, fries, and a drink. And Bob knew if I was really sick, he had to stop and pick me up. And so I'd eat that and I'd feel amazing. So one day I asked the homeopathic doctor, I said, why is it that when I eat something so healthy, I'm sicker than a dog? And when I eat that, I'm fine. And he goes, because you're full of poison.
Wow.
You are a toxic cesspool of poison. You were on the verge of dying from mercury poisoning. You're so full of it. So here's the thing. He is full of poison. He is poison. So when you take things now, when you take that away, you can't survive because he doesn't know how to survive without poison. So that's kind of what I say too. He is just, in the corner because he can't survive. Like there's nothing to left to him. It's just mush. There's nothing there. Nothing.
I don't know. It's very interesting, Karina.
Yeah, that is interesting. And what I was going to say quick about it was just with me with Christmas. Today when I was cutting up vegetables and stuff for the soups, I was thinking about putting up the Christmas tree and decorating it. And so here's the thing. I remember telling you last year and the year before, I have had like no enthusiasm for Christmas at all. Like the tree went up on the pedestal and there it sat. No ornaments, and it has lights on it automatically. So it had lights. No, I never pulled out the ornaments. I never decorated it, nothing for the last 2 years. I didn't decorate the house. I didn't do a thing because I couldn't force myself. I had no desire. And yet now he's elected, supposedly. And I'm like, oh, let's get the tree and decorate. Let's maybe get it up before Thanksgiving. What the hell? So that alone tells me, wow, Karina, you've had the shift in yourself. So it's like, I guess I just feel the truth of things so boldly that there's no room for anything else. I guess that's the way you could say it. That the truth has fulfilled me so much that there's no room for anything else. And I think that if we can just all stay in that and fight and push for the truth to come out,
Mm-hmm.
we will be celebrating by Christmas.
Well, you said if. Is that an if? Because I don't think it's an if. I see it very much happening.
No, I see it happening too. But we just got to keep people out of going down the rabbit hole of fear, because that, I do get, the more they do that, we're fighting our own energy.
Yeah, but I don't, it's a
It
non.
it doesn't change it. It
Yeah, I
doesn't.
know. I've already said, but I think we're, I like that's our thing. Like I've said, I told people it's a non-issue. Like there's a non,
Yeah.
basically. Stop whining. Okay. Oh my God, but I'm so sad. No, you can't afford to be sad. We're gonna die if no, seriously, like
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
truly, I'm not even gonna bother wasting my time with like, oh, what could happen? No, it's like Hitler 2.0 because
Yeah.
Peter Thiel is very competent. He knows what he's doing. Okay.
Yeah.
So if he has power through Trump, he will destroy the world. Like that, that's not there's no doubts about it. I don't have
No,
them.
there's no doubts. That's why it was pulled above the planet. It's a worldly thing. It's not just America's election. So yes, it has to happen, and it will happen.
Okay.
Otherwise the planet's there's nothing. It's
Yeah,
why.
but I see it happening.
So
I don't have any like because I'm just of course no concern of the use of the word if. I don't think for me
no,
it's an if. It's a real thing. It's happening for sure.
yeah, there is no if.
Okay. Okay.
It will happen.
Yeah. No. Wow. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not meant to go to there's no way it's meant to go to those guys. The planet, Mother Earth, is too beautiful to be sucked up by those creeps.
Corina,
So
so I feel like yes, and I get this because I was gonna ask like as you're talking, I'm finishing up here the cover of the video, just the graphics. And okay, do you feel like I get the sense that it's okay to pause it because I think we have to share this video.
yes,
I have to do it tonight. And because I feel like I should do, if you want, it would be great. Also, if you want to can continue to do these videos every day until the whole thing, whatever. But the point is that I think this one has to go out today. So
yes,
do you have anything else to tell the world? Or I feel like because I got a thumbs up and he said it's okay, we can share this, and that's it. Because if it's so there's so much information in today
yeah,
that okay.
yeah,
So
yep,
are you okay with that? So I can pause the recording? Is it okay?
yep, yep. You can
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. So that's it. Let me just gonna stop recording.